paladin who has actually not been level 120 for all that long. I was worried that I wasn't going to actually get up to the new gear requirement of 320 in time, but I just managed to pull it off yesterday, thankfully, so I'm hoping that some interesting drops will come from this, because it is actually quite fun. And I have to say, my personal opinion, it was a big mistake to put a gear requirement on me. You know, I think as far as I understand it, the background is some people raised the stink saying that Warfronts were going to render dungeons and raiding obsolete, and that people going straight into this. And I think it was a bit short-sighted, frankly, because I don't like dungeons or raiding anyway. And all it was doing, it was gating the content just because some people didn't like the idea of other people having, you know, options that they disagreed with, which, I don't know, I think should have been handled differently, frankly. But that's just my 2 cents. I love Marden. Gotta love the dwarves. One of the other reasons I've been leveling a plate character is that I really quite like the set for the Warfront. I think it looks really, really cool, so I'm hoping that I'll be able to eventually piece it together. I'm not sure how long it'll take. Oh, I'm the only person down here? Come on, folks.
It's too far away.
I'm not a tank, so I'm going to have to wait for some other people. Or I could be just suicidal and just try to take him on. Alright, here we go. Come on, Overseer Crix. You've got an awesome mount from what I understand. I want you to drop it. That'd be just great if you could just go ahead and drop the mount. And as you can see, I'm representing the Alliance. I do play Horde sometimes, but really it's mainly to see the story, because I've been playing Alliance for about 8 or 9 years now, and that's where my heart is. I mean, I've started to appreciate the nuances of the Horde, particularly within the last couple of weeks only, but when it comes down to it, Alliance is my faction. I'm not what I would call an expert paladin, so if you've got tips about how best to, you know, play one of these classes, leave it in the comments. I've mained a druid for a really long time now, and that's really the one I still prefer. But I do like to. I play alts more than anything. I know some people can. Some people can play the same class and the same character for years and years straight and not have any alts. I don't understand that. I've got like 6 or 7 level 120s already. I just prefer to experience different sorts of things. So, just lots of opportunity in the game, which is one of the things I like about it.
Deploy our forces now. We cannot allow the Alliance to secure a foothold.
Ready your weapons. It's time for a fight.
It's time for a fight. Yes. Let's get him. I'm also interested to see how long my stream goes without being interrupted, because I've been having some issues with it dropping out prematurely, which is a bit of a bummer.
Hello.
It could be my connection. I don't know. I'm trying to sort that out. We'll see how we go. I wish they gave you more reputation for doing this. That is one of the things that I would change about this, is because reputation, I think, in this, no, don't kick somebody for DCing. I think that's really lame. One of the things I'm unhappy about is how slow the rep grinding process is. Like the precedents they set in Pandaria, where, you know, once you get exalted with something, you can buy the, I think it was called Accommodation, and then all subsequent characters grind at, you know, twice the speed. I think that was by far the best approach to a middle ground, where you're not just giving people Exalted the second they get to max level, but you know, you want to make them actually do something. But you're also not requiring that they go so friggin' slow, because it's actually, for me, it's a bit of, it discourages me from doing additional characters, because I don't like having bars half complete. So that's just me. I've got a bunch of little quirks. Some people get obsessed about PvP and raiding and dungeons and things like that. I obsess about reputation. I've grinded the Beloved title about 6 times on 6 different characters, and by that I mean, you know, I've gotten 60 Exalted reputations on 6 different characters. It's a bit full on, but that's my end game. So you can understand why I actually have opinions about how quick you accumulate reputation on subsequent characters. I think for me that's a real quality of life thing that I'd like to see change. Just my opinion though. Rock Stoneblood. That is such a hardcore name. Drop the hammer! Oh, it didn't work! He's impervious to my hammer. Pick up the hammer. Sorry, that's a reference that only certain people of a certain generation will actually understand. That's good. Oh, I wish we had more help here. One of the things I do like about Paladins is the amount of shields and things. You know, I mean, while Krendar's video about, you know, bubbling is really, really true. It's a bit, I personally think it's a bit over the top. You know, being somebody who plays other classes, many of which I actually really enjoyed Priest for a long time, but I'm finding them a bit squishy. You know, I haven't played Shadow extensively in the new expansion. One of my main alts was a Shadow Priest for a long time, and I just sort of disliked where they've gone with it. So to see a class like Paladin, who have ridiculous numbers of shields and, you know, lay on hand to get 100% of your health back with, you know, instantaneous cast time, it's a bit crazy. I'd like to see similar sorts of things with other classes, I think. But as we know, the complaint is always about how it makes PvP unbalanced, which, I don't know, I have limited sympathy for. I do play PvP as well, but I think they can do better than just saying it makes PvP unbalanced. There's better ways to fix the problem. Alright, let's see, what can I do here? Let's go get some wood. Lumbering Leo?
Hey there.
Armory's ready to start outfitting our forces.
Okay, let's go chop down a tree. I have trouble doing that on my druid because, you know, trees are an important part of nature, but my paladin doesn't nearly have as many qualms about chopping down a tree. I'm curious about how many people have backstories for their characters. I do for a small handful, but not for the vast majority.
See you around.
I think it's a good idea. I think it creates more of an investment in the characters that you play. But and I actually encourage people to actually take time to write it down so that you're actually getting some creative writing in along with your gameplay. I mean, I am an educational technologist by profession. So one of the things I always do look at is ways that technology can be used to support learning and teaching. So when you have something like a really ultra immersive game like Warcraft is, there's so much potential for discussion, for, you know, drawing parallels with the way society is in real life, not just in Azeroth. You know, I think many people would find it dreadfully boring, but that's just the way I roll. You know, and I think it's an amazing opportunity for learning in a, you know, like this. Because, like, for instance, I was in a guild with some academics once, and I made a comment about how Torrens had a Native American feel to it. And somebody said, let's not go there. And I think very, very clearly disagreed with the design of the Torrens. And I think, you know, didn't say this at the time, but I suspect was feeling there was some cultural appropriation going on. And I can see the argument in that. So, I mean, things like that, you know, most people wouldn't think about when they're just sitting here playing a game, face rolling, you know, beating each other up, what have you. But there's some interesting concepts that you can actually reflect on, you know, when you stop and think about it. Anyway, that's my educational lesson for the day. Oh. I'm having a bit of trouble. I need to respond to this guy, but my web camera is blocking the chat. I think it's important to help each other out. I have noticed over time a bit of a trend that worries me slightly, where not only are people not helping each other, but the culture can get a bit toxic. You know what I mean? Where it's not just like, I disagree with you, but it's, I disagree with you and I'm going to personally attack you. Or, you know, people take the faction loyalty a step too far, and it's like, I am going to verbally abuse you because you sided with a different faction to me. You know, I think let's remember, you know, the broader perspective. I think that's what I say. Now, what am I supposed to be doing? I've been busy chatting so much, I haven't been paying attention to where we're at. Workshop constructed. Okay, I need to go turn in some stuff. I need to find a better place for my web image over here. I had it up, I think it was in the lower right at some point, but then it was blocking my bags, and then I put it down over here and it's blocking the chat. You may not ultimately want to look at me at all, in which case I could just get rid of it. I don't know. We'll see. I'm just going to sort of making this up as I go. I think I'll turn it all in here. Let's put us over the limit. Nope, not quite there yet.
Hey there. Have a good one. King's on, friend.
Right. Oh, I can't turn anything in. You gonna let me turn this in anyway? What am I supposed to do? Recruited some troops. I can't recruit some troops because I just turned in all my stuff. Now I'm gonna go check the mines for some more. I need to develop more of an on-screen personality, clearly. You know, I watch. Well, I watch my kids watch some of the real charismatic people on YouTube who do streaming and things like that, and they can talk underwater. I mean, they just seem to have the capacity to just come up with something amazing to talk about, just from one moment to the next, and just keep this never-ending stream of banter that's entertaining to listen to. I haven't been doing this for long enough to really know, and I'm noticing myself resorting to educational topics, which I think are going to drive people nuts, but maybe not. Maybe I'll start a new niche. Maybe I'll be, you know, edunome is the handle I go by on various social media spots. So potentially, I could start a new trend: educational, conscious gaming.
For the Alliance.
I think it's got potential. Probably not, but we'll see. Okay, I'm gonna funnel some more of this iron. I mean, it's an interesting approach here, Warfronts. It's almost like PvP without the PvP. I don't know. I mean, I like the fact that you seem to be guaranteed a piece of gear at the end of it. Where am I going? Talk to Flynn? Is that who I'm supposed to talk to? Where am I going? Oh yeah, over here. Okay. Jonathan Flynn. I thought it was Flynn Fairweather. I'll just turn some stuff in here.
See you around.
Here's another opportunity for some reputation, but it's not giving me frickin' anything.
You have
See what?
my undivided attention.
Nothing.
Keep your enemies in your
That's just lame. Totally lame. I mean, when I was first creating new characters, I would always look at them inevitably and go, but I don't want to grind this person to beloved again. I've sort of moved past that, and I've moved on to, you know, if any faction that they meet, they have to grind to exalted, which is sort of a nice compromise. But there's times I just want to screw around, and I'm having a bit of trouble finding a way forward with this, because it really does impact my personal approach to creating characters, where it's just like the appeal of new characters is just gone down significantly for me. And I can definitely understand why not everybody's in favor of account-wide reputation. I do get that. I mean, from a role-play perspective, it has vast implications and, you know, that sort of thing. But for me personally, I would love account-wide reputation. I think it would be awesome. Because I would actually play the game a lot more than I do now, which I actually play a fair amount as it is. You know what I also like? I also wish there were more nuances to what you could do with other factions. You know, rather than just we hate the Horde, grr. You know, I wish there were ways that you could, you know, leave your faction, like, you know, have a gnome that goes, you know what, I really identify with those goblins. I think they're onto something amazing, and I'd like to join the Horde. Or, you know what I mean, or a, you know, Tauren, or just, there's so much potential for cool role play if you gave a bit more, you know, fluidity in between the factions. I think it would be really cool. I think the gameplay wise it would be hard to deploy though, and almost certainly it would lead to problems, but I don't know, it's an interesting idea anyway. These things take forever. Get him! Grr. But we still haven't actually technically capped this thing yet, have we? Who are we supposed to... Oh, I guess we have to get these things down first. So, it's been a while. I play... my kids and I play, as you know, Maddie and I have been doing a lot of island expeditions, which have been getting some flack. I personally think they're pretty fun. I think the instructions on them could really stand to improve, because it seems like Blizzard's intention rather was to just encourage people to just figure it out, which is kind of cool in a way, but it's not receiving the reaction from people that I think they probably wanted. Oops, I'm being bombarded. Okay, don't rush the gate yet. You will die. What's over here? Horde defeated in the battle. Why is it pointing me over that way? Attack wave. Charge. Oh, wait. Don't charge. I think I'm going to die. That's what I'm quite proud of the fact I haven't died yet in this game. Oh, crap. Wouldn't you know? I just jinxed myself. Heroes never die. I think it was probably the fact I singularly rushed into that whole pack of Horde people and just got trounced. Just missed the resurrection. Come on. We can do it. Okay, for the Alliance.
For the Alliance.
For the Alliance. I love the voice actors that they bring to this franchise. I love the fact that I can't remember the guy's name, but he does Winnie the Pooh. I love the fact that he was Lore Walker Cho. So awesome. And they've got Frank Welker who does stuff, and just it's such a high quality of talent that they bring to the fold. I appreciate the effort for sure. One of the other things I like about Blizzard is how engaged they are with the community. Oh, okay. Can't kill that. It's already been killed. What's under attack? Oh yeah, okay, gotcha. They don't have to do as much outreach as they do. And I know there's always people who say, oh, they don't listen, they don't care. I actually don't believe that. I do believe it is really hard to please the majority of people in a fan base that's like, what, 10 million? I know it's had more than that historically, but it's hard. You can't please all the people all the time. But I do think that they try their absolute best, and I think they deserve some credit for that. Oh, the gate's still not knocked down. I mean, I do, as I say, I'm an educational technologist by profession, so I appreciate how difficult it is to support a large organization. Now, certainly, Blizzard's support needs are even larger than a university like the one I used to work at.
Keep's been upgraded into
Why did it get lost already?
Not be tolerated.
That was premature. So I can definitely appreciate how difficult it would be to try and keep this many people happy when no one is ever going to be happy all the time, let alone the entire player base. I've actually, okay, so I'm getting sidetracked now. Lady Liadrin is somebody who is a paladin, as far as I know. And, if you did the paladin quest lines in Legion, you had to cooperate with her. And I think she may have even been a champion. Am I remembering that right? Anyway, I have trouble attacking people who we've had positive relations with in the past. I think that's one of the story complaints I do have, and I feel it's again, if we had a bit more fluidity in making our decisions, I don't know, I'd be a bit more happy with it anyway.
Cannot abide
We need more people. See? Darkness cannot abide in the light. As a paladin, I support that. So why are we killing it? It's just, we need to just get rid of your war chief. Seriously? I support Bane. Bane in 2020.
Do not abide within the light. By the light be purged!
By the light be purged. You know, both sides can't be right when they say the light is on their side. You know what I mean? Somebody's got to be wrong. And in fact, both people could be wrong. Just, we need more dialogue. We need a diplomat class. I reckon we need a diplomat class. Somebody who excels at
How can this be?
Ooh, I got some gauntlets. Yay! Excellent. So there we go. Victory is ours. I'm going to bring this stream to a halt. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope my banter was acceptable.